The Game Changers Incorporated presents Eric Boles. As the leader of the Game Changers Incorporated, Eric travels the globe sharing his powerful and challenging insights on leadership, peak performance, managing and leading change, teamwork, and cultural transformation. Besides keynoting meetings and events, both domestically and internationally, Eric is also a trainer, consultant, and executive coach. His leadership and employee development programs have been translated into 7 different languages for clients around the world. Prior to his corporate work, Eric played in the National Football League for the New York Jets and Green Bay Packers, where he was introduced to many of the principles of high performance he shares today.
Potential. I actually had a coach who told me one time, "Hey, you got a lot of potential, 18." I was like, "Oh, thanks, coach." He's like, "That just means you haven't done anything yet." Okay. Potential is dormant ability, unused success. It's everything that you can be, but you have not yet become. It's everything that you can do, but have not yet done. Potential has no retirement plan. I don't care if you've been in the same role for 30 years. If you're still in a role, there's still more purpose for you to do. If you're just getting started, you're not limited because you're just getting started. You still have the opportunity, the potential to do so much more. And the reason we need you to do it, because it isn't just about you. As you change and transform, you influence and impact so many others. This is why I'm telling you, the individuals who are always at the top of their game and they stay at the top of the game are the ones you need to spend time talking with. I ask groups every time, everyone who wants to be at the best of what they do. I said, "Look, do you know who your top salespeople are in your group?" Most people say yes. I says, "When's the last time you gave them a phone call? When's the last time you had lunch with them? When's the last time you went and specifically spent time with them?" Don't do like I did. See, when I was playing NFL, I was playing with the New York Jets. I had a teammate of mine named Paul Wilson. I was number 18 at the time. He was number 89. And here's what we did. Every time you looked at the sideline, you saw 1,889 or 8,918. And we were standing right next to each other. And isn't it funny, the 2 guys who weren't playing found each other. And what did we do when we found each other? Complain about why we weren't on the field. Now, you would think we would spend time with, I should have been standing as often as possible next to number 80 and 81 and 82 and number 88. I should have been spending more time with Altoon. I should have been spending more time with the guys who were getting it done. No, I talked about those guys, but I spent time with people just like me. Is this making sense?
I don't just like keynoting. I love keynoting. I love the engagement with the audience. I love communicating a message, and not only communicating a message, but looking at the people and seeing that they can picture what I'm talking about. They don't just hear it. They can see it in their own minds. I spend a lot of time executive coaching, a lot of time in boardrooms, a lot of time doing cultural transformation and consulting assignments. Therefore, I can step on stage and keynote about things I actually experience. So it's just not great quotes and great this. I get a chance to see what these principles look like implemented because I get to be part of the implementation. So that's what I love. Sometimes it's fun to just be on a stage and inspire and connect. But then I also get the benefit of doing the real work that comes with taking that message and really getting it embedded. And I think that's what also allows me to enjoy what I'm keynoting because I know what I'm talking about actually works. Every time I keynote, every time I speak, every time we do a training, we also want to tap into the stories that exist in the audience, where we get people to think of their own story, to be able to share their own story, to even share their own learnings, to the degree that many times they'll walk away from a presentation that I may be up front facilitating or leading, but the power is they walk away still thinking about what they learned from the person sitting to their right or sitting to their left. But to actually engage with the audience, the real key is, are we thinking together? Are we learning together? And when that happens, that's when I really know that our audience is with me. I don't mind silence, especially in those areas where I know they're really engaged. But the way I measure how I do is everything I hear later on. Did they apply what we talked about? Were their tools clear? They were inspired, but were they inspired to actually do something, not just inspired in the moment?
But you also have to decide what's the one thing you're going to do when you leave here. I'm telling you, I've heard a lot of great halftime locker room speeches in my time. But I also know there's a lot of time we just went out in the second half and just made the same mistakes faster. Sometimes there needs to be an adjustment. We need to decide, what are we going to do differently?